everybody, I'm Steven.
Hello everybody, I'm Rizwan.
And we're Cardboard Coalition. Today we thought we'd bring you guys a Mini-Maxi review, one of our kind of channel things that we do, where we do a how to play, playthrough, and review all kind of packed in one. We tend to do it for smaller games. And today we're going to do it for King of the West, which is one of our Kickstarter games that we recently got in. So I hope you guys enjoy. You ready to start doing the review?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. See, that part was easy.
Yes. My love.
All right, everybody. So we have a basic setup of King of the West, and we'll run through how you set it up. So, King of the West. So, what you do is you take these location cards, you give them a quick shuffle, and then you put them out in a 3x3 grid. I guess we can open it up just a little because there's some card turning that goes on. All right. Each player picks who they want to be. In one set, there's 3, but if you get all 3 of them, you have 9 players to choose from. So you see the 2 that's down there, the bartender and the marshal, but there's also the wolf in this set. But all the cards are exactly the same, right? And we'll go through that in a minute. All right. So you've set your cards out in a 3x3 grid. Each person's picked who they want to be. And you're supposed to sit opposite sides of each other. So for this how to play, we're going to set up as Rizwan is over here on our right. I'm over here on the left. And when we do the playthrough, we'll set it up the same way. So you're supposed to sit opposite of each other. I know I'm kind of sitting here, which might seem weird because I'm not sitting opposite. But, all right. So, now once you have the cards all set out, face down, you flip them over. Wish I could do this faster, but with the camera, I gotta kind of be smart about what I'm doing. Ooh. All right, now we got them all set up. All right, so now you flip them all over, and then you look, and each player has an emblem down here. Let's see if we can get to focus. Like this. Down here on the card, there's an emblem. Looks like the bartender has, I can't tell what that is. Looks like a weird, oh, it's a knife, like from their other game, a double-sided knife. See, he has the knife in his hand. All right, so the bartender has the knife. So you take any cards that have that knife and you turn it towards the bartender who's playing on our left side. This represents that this piece of property is controlled by the bartender, of course, the saloon, right? And then if we look over here on the marshal, hers is really easy to figure out. She has a star down here. So then you look at all the cards and you see which ones have a star, and you turn them towards that player. So since Rizwan is going to be on this side, we turn the star towards her. We look up here. There's a star. There's a star. If there was a third player, then we could face these towards the third player. But for now, this means these ones are open because they're facing away from any of the players. So the general store and the 2 houses are open territory. These 2 houses and the jail are controlled by Rizwan right now. And then the saloon, this house, and this house is controlled by me right now. So once you have this set up and you make sure everything's going, the cards are facing towards the people who should own them in the beginning, and then you have your open cards. Like I said, if there's a third player, these would be facing towards wherever the third player was, up here, down here, or what have you. All right. Once that goes, you look at the bounties. So on the wanted poster, you have reward. I called it the bounty, right? You have the reward. So for him, the reward is 2,500. For the marshal, for her, the reward is 3,000. Whoever has the lowest bounty gets to go first. So in this case, I have the lowest bounty. So now there's 3 things that I can do on my turn. I could do all 3 of them. I could do one of them. It doesn't matter. So I can decide to move. I can decide to claim. I did them backwards. First is claim. I can decide to claim, I can decide to move, and I can decide to shoot out, right? So to claim, what you do is you have to take one of the spots that you own. You have to start from one of the spots that you own, and you have to go diagonal. So you either go this way or this way. You can't go, or sorry, you can't go diagonal. I said diagonal. You can't go like this. You have to go this way or this way. All right. So let's go through a turn of this. And what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to claim this one. So I'm going to turn it towards me. And then I am going to move this one, which in moving, what you do is you move one property towards you, but you have to take the property you left from and make it empty. So I have to give up a property to move. And that will help you when you're trying to move around the game. And then the third thing you can do is have a shootout. So with the shootout, I want this store, let's say. I want this location, right? The general store. Oh, wait, I can claim that one. Sorry. So let's say I want the jail. Back up a little bit. So for a shootout, let's say I want the jail. So I have the saloon right here. It's right next to the jail. It's not diagonal, right? So I can go for the shootout with at the jail with the marshal. So what I do is I pick that player or the area, and I say I want to have a shootout. And so I go through my cards, right? I have guns blazing, take aim, and ambush. Now, if you look, you also at the bottom it says if they play. This means your opponent or your rival, if you want to use the terms they use here. And it tells you what will happen if you play this card and your rival plays one of these three cards, right? So in this case, let's say I want to have a shootout. I use guns blazing, and then Resvon, let's just randomly pick one for her, but you can pick, let's say she does take aim. So then what you do is you look at the cards. I put guns blazing, but what card did my opponent play or my rival play? They play take aim. So that means I get +1, they get -1. So I get +1, so that empties that territory. I don't get to take it right away, but there's also, because they did take aim, there's -1, which means they lose one property. So you take, that one's already empty, so you find another one of the marshals, and they lose a property, all right? And then it goes that way. If there were the two properties next to each other, it's the property next to it that disappears. So that's how that works. And then it would be Resvon's turn, and then she decides to either claim a property, move, or do a gunfight. But remember, it has to be a property next to her. So she couldn't decide to claim this back right now. Oh, that's my property. She would have to either claim this property, have a gunfight down here, right? She has to try to work her way back down here. So that's kind of how the game goes. You claim property, which means you can turn a card towards you. You can move, which means you turn a card towards you and take one of your cards and make them empty. Or you can have a gunfight, which means you have a shootout. And that shootout is between you and someone who owns a property. So if they own the property, you can't just claim it. You can't just move to it. You have to have a shootout with them. And that's basically how you play through the game. Did I miss anything, Resvon?
No, it's good.
It's good?
It's so good.
Okay. So, you ready to play a game, see who wins? Resvon's won the last two, so we'll see. You ready to play?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's get it set up. Okay, everybody. So we have it set up for a two-player game. There's some things I'm going to talk through really quick because Resvon is still in Tehran, so she's playing remotely, so I kind of have to deal or put her cards out and stuff, so we have it set up a certain way. But we have the 3x3 grid. We already flipped them all over. Now what we can do is we can figure out who's who. Resvon's still the marshal, so she's going to have that star. So we're going to go star, star. We're pointing them all towards Resvon, because Resvon's on this side of the board, and I'm on this side of the board. And then mine is the dagger. So I have the saloon, I have this property, and this property, these two houses. Now the ones pointing this way, as we talked about before, I empty. With a third player, they would point towards the third player, but two-player game. Now the other thing that we kind of have going is Rezvon's cards are out where I can see them, right? And so what's going to go on is if Rezvon decides to have a shootout, I'm going to pick my card first. I'm going to set my card down before Rezvon picks what card she's going to play. And I have to make sure I cheat it up here to make sure she can't see what cards, but you guys can see what I'm picking. I'm watching kind of her screen too. All right, her cards are out. Normally I wouldn't see them. Normally all I would see is the back of her cards. So I don't know what she's going to pull. And normally when we play this, we have a little tray set up where I can't see her cards, but she can. And she tells me what she's going to pick. But because we're doing it this way, even if Rezvon starts the shootout, I'm going to put my card down first before she picks hers, so I have no idea what she's picking. I'm still guessing. So beyond that, normally you play the game, both people put their card down simultaneously, then you flip them over, and then you do what the card says. Just so you guys know. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. The player with the lowest reward win or starts. So I have 2,500, and if you watched the playthrough, which you probably did, right? Rezvon has 3,000 with the marshal. So the bartender gets to go first. And I'm going to look around. Let's see. I want to... I'm going to claim this for me. And then I am going to... have a shootout. I mean, I don't even need to move. Let's have a shootout. Let's see if we can end this quickly. Oh, I just thought about it. In the how to play, we forgot to tell you the win conditions. How you win the game is if one person owns all 3 locations, or someone has no property to their name, no buildings. They don't own any of the buildings, or they're not in any of the buildings. So if they have no buildings, you lose. So in a 2-player, if I lose all my buildings or Rezvon loses all of her buildings, then she loses or I lose. Or at the start of the turn, someone has all 3 of the unique properties or special properties. That's why I kind of went after that one. So I forgot to do that in the playthrough. That's my bad. And Rezvon forgot to remind me, but we won't tell her because she'll be angry chicken. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I claim that. I'm not going to move because there's no reason to move. I'm going to have a shootout with Rezvon. So I'm going to pick my card first. Let's set it up where she can't see because she likes to be a cheater. Let's go ahead and start with this one. All right. So I put down my card. And then Rezvon picks what card she wants to put down.
Left of my card.
Left?
Yes.
All right. So she would put it down like this, so we'll just do it that way so we know. Then you simultaneously flip the cards over. I played Guns Blazing, and she played Take Aim. Oh no! Look at that. So, where is hers? Take Aim. Oh no, that worked out for me. So I went Guns A-Blazing. That means her property. Oh, that's the saloon, that's mine. Her property's empty, and she loses a property. So I get +1 because she took Take Aim. She loses a property. So she lost a property, and then I gain it. Lost a property, and I gained it. All right. So then the cards go back to their owners, and it's the next player's turn. So at this point, before I let Rezvon go, I have all 3 of the unique properties. She does not want to let me start my next turn with all 3 of these unique properties, or the game's over.
Okay. It's my turn. At the first, I want shootout.
Okay.
Yeah.
From here to here? Shootout with there. All right, hold on. I have to, normally she would throw her card down. Let me pick mine. Make sure she can't see so she can't be a All right. I've picked my card. This is based on a kind of a rock, paper, scissors kind of setup. All right. What card do you want to put down, Rezwan? Right?
Again, no, left. Again,
Left? You want take aim again? So she puts down her card. And she started, so she flips over. So she has take aim. Right? And then I flip over my card. I did ambush. Oh, no. So what goes on is she loses no properties. Right? Plus or negative, no property. And I, because I'm a rival, because I played ambush, I lose 2. So I lose 1, and then I have to lose 1 adjacent to it. I can either pick down here or here, but I don't want to give up my unique location. So I'll give up this one. All right. And you put the cards back.
Now I can claim one of them or not?
Belle, yes, you can claim one. And you can move too.
Okay. I want to claim that card.
The jail?
I should have. Yes.
All right, so that turns towards Rezwan.
And I want to.
You can move here. You can move here.
I want to move. Yes. Right. Between right.
Right here? Oh, no, you have to shoot out. You can't move there, sorry. You can only move right here because it has to be next to your card.
I have a one card right up.
This one?
Yes.
I own this property, so you would have to shoot out. I own this property, so you have to shoot out. So the only place you actually can move is right here.
It's okay. I don't want to.
Yeah, because that means you'd have to go like this, so I wouldn't move. All right.
Yes.
So now it's my turn, and I look around to see what I can do. I am going to claim this property, so she can't take me out because I have that card, so I'm claiming that property. And then I'm going to have a shootout again with the bank. Me and the marshal are going to have a shootout. So the bartender and the marshal are going to shoot it out. Let's play. We're going to play this one. All right. What card do you want to play, Rezwan?
Oh, right.
You want to play this one? She wants to go guns blazing, huh? But I don't know that yet. So I flip over my card. We do it simultaneously. You put the cards down simultaneously too. We're just kind of going slow because I have to do it for Rezwan. So I did ambush. And she did guns blazing. So I look on my card. And if she played guns blazing, nothing happens to me. She loses 1 property. All right. So then you return the cards. Now, I already claimed something, so I can't just claim this one, but I can move. Also, it worked out for me. So I'm going to move. So I'm going to empty this property, and I'm going to move into that property. Now I have all 3 unique locations again, and it's Rezvan's turn.
It's my turn.
Belle.
I want to shoot out middle of that cards up. No.
Right here?
Middle cards, yes.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. All right. Let me pick my card first before you put yours down. All right. What card? Right? Left?
Left.
All right. So, Rezvan played Take Aim, and I played Guns Blazing. All right. So, Rezvan loses 1 property. I gain 1 property. So, Rezvan loses a property because she was fighting out with me, and I gain a property. Ooh, didn't work out well for her. All right. Is there anything else you want to do? Yeah, because yeah, you're right, because you had to have the shootout to win. Let's see. You can't move.
I have one.
You can't move there. No, all you could do is move, but it takes an empty spot, and there's no empty spot.
Yeah.
You already did a shootout with me for this one, and then you can't claim because it has to be it can't be diagonal, so it has to be orthogonal, I believe, right? So you can't even get to that card. So your turn's over.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn. Now here's the thing. If I don't say anything, I don't win. I have to say something. And I have to go, King of the West!
Yeah.
Which means I win because I have all 3 of the unique locations at the beginning of the game. And like I said before, I forgot to go over it. If Rezvan had lost this location, the game's over automatically because she's out of the game because she has no locations, right? But she didn't. But I started my turn with these 3. So that's basically the game. It's a quick game. I get a win. Rezvan was worried that I was going to win because we're on camera. I tend to win when we're on camera. She tends to win more when we're off camera. But all right, that's a playthrough of King of the West. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, everybody. So hopefully you watched through the how to play and the playthrough. And we're at the review kind of portion. Give you guys a quick review, our thoughts on the game. So let's just start off with Rezvan. What do you think about the game, Rezvan?
It's so cute game. I like it, and it's like mix 2 game together, rock paper scissors and 1 card game. In this game, everything is funny. I like it.
Yeah, it's a fun little game, and it's pocket size, right? Just, I mean, it's thin, fit right in your pocket. Enough to play with 2 or 3 players. But yeah, it's based on the rock, paper, scissors game, right? Rochambeau, who knows when they started calling it Rochambeau or why. But rock, paper, scissors, and you're basically, when you have shootouts, you kind of do the rock, paper, scissors thing, or you can move around. There's some strategy on where you want to move around and how to claim some things. But overall, it's a basic, fast-paced, Western-themed game. So if you like Westerns, if you just like something really simple that's fun to play through, there's not a lot of text. Let's see, I'm trying to pull a card without knocking them all over. So if you guys watch the how to play and the playthrough, you see there's not a lot of text, and it basically just tells you this is what happens if you play that card kind of thing. But beyond that, it's fun. It's fast paced. There's some unique locations that are kind of cool, and they work with the characters, who they are, and stuff like that. Is there anything you didn't like about the game, Rezvan?
I didn't see anything.
Okay.
I think it's good.
You think it's good? All right.
It's quick, but it can be a long game too. But for this game, for a small game, it's so good.
Yeah, it's quick. You
It's
can't.
so good because
Oh, go ahead.
when you're going somewhere, you don't need to have a big box for one game. It's a small. You can go everywhere for play with that. It's good point.
Yeah, it's a pocket game. So you can just put it in your pocket. Actually, you could take all 3 of them if you wanted, and they still all fit in your pocket. Unless you're wearing skinny jeans, but I don't think those are a thing anymore. Or maybe they are. But yeah, it's a quick game. It could take a little bit longer. I think on the rules it says up to 30. Normally a game will take us about 10 minutes, but it's also, once again, it takes us a little longer to get through games because I'm doing everything for Rezvan. I don't have that time to sit there and think about what I'm going to do before it's my turn to actually do it. So I have to help her physically move things around, and then I have to think, okay, now what am I going to do? So that slows it down a little, but it's really a fast-paced game. And the variety in the game, all of the cards, so each character, if you have all three of the games, one comes with 3 characters. So if you have all 3, you have 9 characters. They all, the only difference is their bounties. The reward for capturing them is different, which dictates first player. And then they all get a special location. And so, you know, like I'm trying to think, the bartender has the saloon, the marshal has the jail, and they work, and some of them are just a little fun. I think I have I can't remember the specter or the spirit here. He has like this void. So they all have kind of their own unique location, but it doesn't do anything. It just, it's part of the win conditions, have the 3 unique locations at the beginning of the game, is one of the win conditions. But I guess what I would say is the negative I would give to the game. I like to give at least positives and negatives, so if you guys are watching, you can decide if the game's for you. But I would say that there's not a ton of visual variety, let's put it that way, visual variety. Because when you play through, even with 3 players, you have 9 cards. So out of the 9 cards, 6 of them are just locations. I think 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 6. I could do math. So 6 of them are just a house. And no matter which set you have, it's just a house, right? And I understand why it's set up that way, because you can interchange. They're all interchangeable. But there's not a lot of variety in the game. The fun in the game is literally, it's fast paced. You're just doing the kind of rock, paper, scissors with your cards and putting them down. And it makes sense, right? You can claim property. Hey, this is mine. You move, so you give up a property and move to one, or you have your shootout, right? And that's where you do the rock, paper, scissors. So, Rezvan, if you were to rate this game between 0 and 10, what would you give it?
I give 6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I would give it a 6 or 7. And that's really overall, and I'm pretty sure Rezvan's doing this too, is looking at all the games we've played overall, but also remembering that this is a quick pocket game. Yeah, I guess maybe I would even give it, yes, I think still 6 or 7. It's a quick pocket game. It's fun. It's worth checking out, I would say. It's worth playing through. I've had fun every time we've played it. How about you, Rezvan? Do you have fun when we play it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Even when you lose?
Yes, I can. It's not usually in this game, you need be unlucky.
Yeah.
It's not you be smart, but after you try to do attack or you try to do work with your shootout, again you need to be lucky in this game.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, with the shootouts, you have to be lucky. And I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you can think that you're the greatest shot in the West, and it might help your luck, but you could still have a bad draw on luck. And there's a little bit of, as I say, strategery, like Homer Simpson, right? Strategery. But there's a little bit of strategy. You can think about where you want to move. I've lost games because I wasn't paying attention to how many properties I owned and things like that. So there's a little bit of strategy, but it's light. It's definitely a light game, a light, fun little game. Is there anything else you want to add, Rezvan?
No. I hope they play that and they enjoy of that.
Hope everybody enjoys it. All right. Overall, yeah, I think it's a fun little game. It's worth taking a shot at, playing, having some fun with. But that's about it. So, as usual, help us grow the coalition by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm Steven.
I'm Rizwan.
And we're Cardboard Coalition. See you later, everybody.